Hi Taurus, welcome to your week ahead tarot scope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Taurus, this is for you. Remember, they're general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody. That is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose, and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. So your key to the week this week is the Chariot card. Okay, so this is likely to be a fast, powerful, dynamic week. It's also likely to feel like a lot of things are moving at a pace that are slightly out of your control. Now, given the fact that we do have the final, should I say, full moon lunar eclipse in your sign, it kind of makes sense, right? Like, it makes sense that there would be such a powerful, dynamic, frenetic energy going on for you. And this Chariot card is kind of like the home stretch is in view, right? It's like, you know, when you come around the corner and you're going, you know, when you're going home and you come around the corner after a really long drive and you're like, ah, yes, I'm almost home. This kind of feels like that energy for you guys. For your actions and options, you have the Moon card. So this is a lot of water to start with. Now, the Moon card, for me, represents the past. And it comes up in your actions. You can tread memory lane. You can go down, you know, just like Trinity says to Neo in The Matrix. You've been down that path. You know where it goes. Do you really want to go down that space, like down that path again? I'm going to say the same thing for you, my dear ball gang. Do you want to tread the same path that you always have, or do you want to do something different? Do you want to break out of the shell? Do you want to do something completely new and go in a different space or place? In terms of the options that are available to you, that kind of really feels like what it is. This week you're going to be presented with a choice that says to you, you can either do what you've always done, or you can do something completely different. It's going to be uncomfortable to do whatever this new thing is. It goes against every instinct that you have. I'm just going to be real with you right now, Taurus. Whatever it is, it's going to go against every instinct that you have. Everything in you is going to say, no, stick with what you know. It's up to you. I can't tell you what to do. All I can tell you is what's coming up. For your communications and conversations, you have the Five of Wands. Okay, so we get a little bit more of the picture. That Five of Wands in your communication sector, it does suggest this week conversations are likely to get quite loud. It does also suggest that this is potentially a week where you get not sidetracked, but it's almost like where you get drawn into a whole bunch of drama. Now, the Five of Wands is a conflict card. You add to this the Chariot card, that's heading towards the Tower. You can either get caught up in it in the melee, and it's really weird to say this because usually Taurus is like, you know, Taurus runs like 100 miles in the opposite direction of drama. Only this week there is something that you're very invested in. It's like you refuse to back down on this, and so you're willing to fight for it. And it might not necessarily, this might be that one time that you go in for the drama that you're not actually meant to. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this could be revisiting a topic or a subject matter that is quite difficult for you to talk about or to relive. And you might feel that it's oddly personal, but it really isn't, all right? The other thing with this as well, there might be something that you're wanting to take on the road with you that has no business going wherever it is that you're going. I will leave that to your discretion, right? For those of you that are employed by somebody else, this is muddy waters when it comes to, if you're working for someone else, things are going to be a bit of a hubbub, things are going to be loud. Remember as well, because we've got the eclipse going on, you know, the full moon lunar eclipse in your sign, Everybody's going to be feeling that energy. It's only the people that follow astrology, that understand energies, patterns and cycles, numerology, etc., that really know how to navigate this stuff, because they can look at it and say, okay, this is a transit. Everybody else has got no clue. You know this stuff. So when it starts to rise and you feel that red mist setting in, do the opposite. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, again, this could be between you and an employee, but it could just as easily be between customers and clients. It could just as easily be that kind of sphere where things get loud, and it's almost like you don't want to allow yourself to get caught or drawn into it. Finally, for those of you that are retired and no longer working, give yourself some space this week. All right, like give yourself some space, especially if you feel really deeply attached to something, because the chances are what feels like an instinctual reaction may not necessarily be the one that brings you the result that you hope for. For your love and relations, you've got the Hanged Man. So that's a lot of Pisces energy, right? The moon card, Pisces, Hanged Man, Neptune. That is a lot of Pisces energy. Now, for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitment, this does suggest that this week you are having to give something up, to step back, or to sacrifice something. It's like you have to almost say to yourself, you know what? I can fight to the death with my partner about this, or I can just let it slide. And it's not so much like you're letting it slide like, oh, I don't care, or, you know, it doesn't matter to me or whatever. It's just, is this the battle that I'm willing to fight? Is this a hill that I am prepared to die on? You know, that's a really extreme way of saying it, but it kind of might feel like that this week because we are heading towards an eclipse. For those of you that are single and looking, look, don't be surprised if all the feels come up around exes. Don't be surprised if exes from the past show up. Don't be, just when it comes to love, if you are single, don't even be surprised about it. I'm going to be really honest. For some of you, there might be somebody that manages to speak you into bed, and then, you know, you wake up the next morning and you're like, what the fuck happened there? Like, I never thought I would have. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've all been there, right? We've all been there. I wish I could say that I haven't, but there have been times where I'm like, I don't know what kind of, listen, right? So just, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If you're single, there's no problem. There's no beef, but you might be a little bit weirded out. Do you know what I mean? Like by who it is or how it happens. Maybe you go out with, you know, a bunch of work colleagues, and you and one of your co-workers end up doing the do, right? You're kind of like, I'm not really sure how it happened. It just kind of happened. So yeah, interesting. And then finally, for your money and materials, you've got the Three of Wands. So in terms of your money and your finances, this with the Chariot bodes very well, because it means that you can see a money-making idea or enterprise and you're heading towards it very quick. I love that. The money for this week, as in the money that's coming in, it very much comes from the things that you drive or generate yourself. Great. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, that Three of Wands, in terms of the physical health and vitality, the Three of Wands is your head, and your face. But because you've got the Chariot card here, and you've got, you know, this is quite a lot of water and fire, that's steam. So there's two things that I want you to watch out for. One, rushing around. Please just be careful with yourself so that you don't end up damaging yourself in any way, specifically your face. And then when it comes to, you know, things that you're doing around hot water, etc., please be mindful of that. A touch wood, spelling you safe, hoping that, you know, any of that sort of stuff is cancelled out. But please, when it comes to hot water, be very, very careful this week. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.